Biomed Nexus. Daily updates. Your essential biotech, medtech, and pharma recap. No noise, just what matters. TLDR Revolution Medicines, RVMD, reported Phase 3 results for daraxonrasib in previously treated metastatic pancreatic cancer that Wall Street analysts are calling unprecedented. Median overall survival was 13.2 months versus 6.7 months for chemotherapy, HR 040P00001. The drug met all primary and secondary endpoints. No drug has previously demonstrated an overall survival benefit greater than 1 year in a Phase 3 trial for pancreatic cancer. RVMD shares surged in pre-market trading. Revolution also began dosing patients in Resolute 303, a Phase 3 trial of daraxonrasib as first-line treatment for metastatic pancreatic cancer earlier this month, and has a clinical collaboration with Bristol Myers Squibb combining daraxonrasib with navlimetostat. Replimune, REPL, shares fell more than 19% on Friday, following the second CRL for RP1. The company said it will lay off staff and scale back US manufacturing. A Type A meeting with the FDA is expected within 30 days. Foundayo, or Forglipron, enters its second full week of commercial availability. Early prescription data will be the first competitive signal against Novo's oral Wegovy. Executive takeaway: pancreatic cancer is one of the most lethal and treatment-resistant malignancies in oncology. 5-year survival rates hover around 12%. In previously treated metastatic disease, patients on standard chemotherapy typically survive around 6 to 7 months. No drug has ever shown an overall survival benefit exceeding 1 year in a Phase 3 trial in this setting until now. Revolution Medicines' daraxonrasib, a once-daily oral RAS(ON) multi-selective inhibitor, delivered median overall survival of 13.2 months versus 6.7 months for chemotherapy, a 60% reduction in risk of death, HR 0.40P001. CEO Mark Goldsmith called the results unprecedented. Wall Street agreed. This is the kind of data that reshapes a treatment landscape, drives a priority review filing, and puts a company squarely in M&A crosshairs. Revolution already began dosing patients in a first-line pancreatic cancer trial, Resolute 303, and plans to initiate a RAS inhibitor doublet trial, Resolute 309, in the second half of 2026. RAS mutations drive more than 90% of pancreatic cancers, meaning daraxonrasib's addressable population is essentially the entire disease. Read, full analysis, what to watch, Revolution Medicines, regulatory filing. The company plans to submit data to global regulators, including the FDA. Given the magnitude of the survival benefit, expect a priority review designation. Full data will be presented at a major oncology conference in 2026. M&A speculation. Revolution Medicines has been on acquisition target lists for months. This data will intensify interest from companies building oncology franchises: Gilead, Merck, AstraZeneca, BMS. Revolution's market cap will need to be watched closely. Resolute 303, first-line PDAC. Dosing began in early April. If daraxonrasib shows similar benefit in untreated patients, the commercial opportunity expands dramatically. RAS(ON) doublet, Resolute 309, planned for H2 2026, combining daraxonrasib with zoldonrasib, RAS G12D selective inhibitor, could further extend survival. Foundayo, Week 2, Lilly's oral GLP-1 continues its retail pharmacy rollout. Initial TRX data expected in the coming weeks. Top story: Revolution Medicines' daraxonrasib nearly doubles survival in pancreatic cancer. RVMD, what happened? Revolution Medicines reported top-line results from the Phase 3 Resolute 302 trial evaluating daraxonrasib as monotherapy in patients with previously treated metastatic pancreatic ductal adenocarcinoma, PDAC. The trial was a global, randomized, controlled study comparing once-daily oral daraxonrasib to investigators' choice of intravenous chemotherapy. The results met all primary and secondary endpoints. Based on the first interim analysis, all PFS and OS endpoint results are considered final. The data. In the intent-to-treat population, daraxonrasib demonstrated a median overall survival of 13.2 months versus 6.7 months for chemotherapy, a hazard ratio of 0.40 p(0.001). That represents a 60% reduction in risk of death and a 6.5-month improvement in median survival. The drug also met its progression-free survival endpoint. Daraxonrasib was generally well tolerated with a manageable safety profile and no new safety signals. The study enrolled patients across a wide range of RAS variants, as well as patients without an identified RAS mutation. The pipeline, Revolution, is building a franchise around RAS-targeted oncology. In addition to the RASolute 302 readout, the company began dosing patients in RASolute 303, first-line metastatic PDAC, in early April. RASolute 305 is the first phase 3 trial for zoldonrasib, RAS G12D selective, in first-line metastatic PDAC. RASolute 309, a doublet combination of zoldonrasib plus daraxonrasib, is planned for H2 2026. The company also has a clinical collaboration with Bristol Myers Squibb evaluating daraxonrasib plus navlimetostat, PRMT5 inhibitor, in pancreatic cancer patients with RAS mutations and MTAP deletions. Executive Impact CEO Mark Goldsmith called the results unprecedented, noting no drug has previously shown an OS benefit greater than 1 year in a phase 3 pancreatic cancer trial. Revolution plans to submit data to global regulators and present detailed findings at a major oncology conference this year. RAS mutations occur in more than 90% of pancreatic cancers, making the addressable population essentially the entire disease. The survival benefit is large enough to support both accelerated and traditional approval pathways. Revolution has been a top acquisition target for months, and this data will put a floor under its valuation. The company also has daraxonrasib programs in non-small cell lung cancer, adding pipeline breadth beyond PDAC. Corporate and business developments, Replimune. Fallout continues. After second RP1 rejection, Replimune shares fell more than 19% on Friday following the FDA's second complete response letter for RP1 in advanced melanoma. The company disclosed it will eliminate jobs and substantially scale back U.S. manufacturing, calling RP1 development not viable without accelerated approval. A Type A meeting with the FDA is expected within 30 days. Cantor Fitzgerald had estimated $800 billion in peak annual sales. The Phase 3 IGN-YTE3 confirmatory trial is underway, but the company's ability to fund it through completion is now in question. The week ahead now, Foundayo, or Forglipron. Week 2 of commercial availability. Now, Revolution. Medicines preparing regulatory submission for daraxonrasib. April, Heart Rhythm 2026 Conference. April, Novo Nordisk, Wegovy. HD US launch continues April 14th, Alsecure Pharma presentation at Red Eye Healthcare Day, Stockholm. Late April, Pharma Partnering US Summit, San Diego. May 2026, Replimune. Type A meeting with FDA expected Red, full analysis, Biomed, Nexus, Pro. Institutional Intelligence, Brief-In. Today's Pro Brief, daraxonrasib, Deep Dive, why a 0.40 hazard ratio in second-line pancreatic cancer is transformative and what the filing timeline looks like. M&A target profile. Which companies are most likely to pursue Revolution medicines and at what price RAS oncology landscape, how daraxonrasib, zoldonrasib, and the doublet strategy position Revolution as the dominant RAS platform. Updated Catalyst calendar. Upgrade to Pro. Today. Read full article. Selective. 2026 sponsorship placements are available. Reply directly to discuss a partnership or submit an inquiry here.